Hi and welcome back to Silver Linings. My name is Vanessa. Today I'm guiding you through a Yin yoga practice. We will focus specifically on opening our front body, so front of the hips and chest. We will go into deep hip opening too, and also stretch the side of our glutes. If you have a bolster at home and a couple of bricks, you can use them today. Alternatively, if you have any cushions or books that could support your body, I really recommend you have some equipment to make sure the practice is as comfortable as possible for you. Make sure you position the screen in a way you can see me easily. We will be on the floor the whole time and begin into a comfortable seated position. So you can cross your legs if you like. If you want to sit on a cushion or a block, you can do it. Find a way to rest your hands on your knees and begin to elongate through your spine, coming into an elegant and easeful position to start your breathing exercise, coherent breathing. So your eyes can be closed or downcast. Begin to tune into your breath, to move away from any distractions, any worries, any stress. And start deepening the exhalation as a way to release tension from your shoulders and your face. Take a couple more nourishing, slow breaths through your nose. And I will guide you through a couple of rounds of coherent breathing. We will breathe in for 5 seconds and breathe out for 5 seconds. Then I will allow you to practice in your own time, perhaps slow this down, or maybe if you need, bring it down to 4 seconds each inhalation and exhalation. Let's synchronize our breaths. Take a slow exhalation to empty your lungs completely. And then breathe in through your nose. Again, exhale completely. And breathing through your nose. Last time, exhale. And we begin. Breathe in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now continue in your own rhythm. Count until 5 or 6 if you want to increase the length. Allowing your belly and your chest to expand in all directions. And to soften. Take another 2 rounds of this breath. Now, the very last time you exhale out through your nose, I'm going to invite you to hold the breath out. Retention of the breath, empty lungs. If this doesn't feel comfortable or not safe for you to hold your breath, just come back to your natural breath. So next time you exhale, pause with your empty lungs as long as you can. And when you feel the need to breathe again, return to your spontaneous breath. Notice how you're feeling. Notice any shifts. Any new sensations. And when you're ready, you can blink open your eyes. Begin to circle your shoulders up to your ears, pull them back and down. And again, take a big circle forward, up, back and down. And one more time. Let's gently interlock the fingers behind the back. Push your chest forward, stretch your arms back. As the first yin yoga pose we will take is called melting heart. It's a nice way to open our chest. So as you let go of the grip, set yourself up on your hands and knees. And as you arrive on your hands and knees, take just a couple of cat and cows to prime your spine. So you can arch through your back, looking forward, and then you can round through your spine, tucking your tailbone under. And again, breathing, open your chest. And exhale, round your spine. Take this one more time, breathing to open. And exhale to round. Now, keep your hips on top of your knees. For your melting heart, walk your hands forward, slightly apart, and allow your elbows to bend until maybe the elbow finds the floor and your forehead finds the floor too. If this is easy for you, lengthen your arms completely and allow your chest to soften. Maybe your chin touches the ground. You're lifting through your tailbone up, and we're only going to be here for 1 minute. But see if you can create some space under your armpits and feel that your upper back is into the most elongated place. If you feel very flexible in your back and you would like more, you're more than welcome to use your bricks under your hands. So your hands are elevated and your chest can descend a bit more. If none of this work, you can come into child's pose instead, feet together, knees apart, and lengthen your arms. So you're still stretching your arms, but in a much more gentle way. So let's take 1 minute from now, whatever option you've chosen. It's a 60-80% of sensations only, so nothing too strong. And your breath wants to be even and smooth as the one you cultivated at the beginning of the practice. See if you can relax your spine, just 2 more breaths or so. And then slowly find your way to move into a child's pose. So feet together, knees apart, release down. Let your head be heavy and just open your knees as wide as you need to feel that your chest can fall. And then walk your hands towards you. Take a couple of shoulder rolls just to release this fast pose. And now we move into a deep hip flexor stretch, which is dragon pose. You might want to keep your blocks in front of you for this one. So you can set your blocks high stance. From your position, it's a semi-tabletop position, step your right foot forward. And then walk your left knee ever so slightly backwards in a way that when you drop your hips forward, you can feel some stretching to the front of the left hip. So dragon pose is like a kneeling lunge, but we're gonna keep it still and hold it there a little longer. So a couple of options. If you feel discomfort in the touching of your belly, in your hip, in your thigh, you could walk your right foot to the side and come into a wider dragon pose. So usually the hips have more space to go. Make sure your right heel is under your right knee, whatever variation you're taking. And if your back knee is sensitive, you can pop a towel underneath. If you don't need your blocks, you can keep your hands directly on the floor, wherever you are. But I really invite you to rock your hips forward and to keep the tailbone heavy in a way that you give priority to your hip flexors today. You can close your eyes and you either keep your head up or you drop it down. Find a place where your breath can be fluid and soft. If your eyes are closed, you might find it easier to focus on your sensations, really check what you're feeling. You might also feel something in the front leg for sure. Could you relax your back leg a little bit more? Could you drop the weight of your hips more? Always staying into the safe 60-80% of intensity space. And if it helps to release the stress and tension, you could take very slow exhalations. Maybe exhale through your mouth if it helps. We only have 1 last minute. This is going to be a short one to prepare our hips. Slow breath or so, and then very gently push into the blocks, come back and up. And now from here you could come into child's pose if you like, or you can come and lay all the way down on your belly, so any position that feels symmetrical and good for your hips. Notice what you're feeling at the level of your hips, maybe even your wrists. And then press yourself back and up. I'm gonna try the same thing on the other side. So blocks again, could be high stance if you like. Step your left foot in front of you, in line with the left hip, and then wiggle yourself a bit forward, maybe back knee goes backwards. Find a sweet spot for you to begin to open the right hip flexors. Push into the blocks, let your hips drop. And again, if this compression is uncomfortable for you, take your block inside, walk your foot all the way to the edge, and then you might have much more space to stay with your hips. If your back knee is uncomfortable or the back foot, feel free to place the towel underneath. And now wherever you are, again, we take this 2 minutes of dragon pose, focusing especially on opening the front of the right hip. So try to move the right hip forward. You can keep your head lifted, you can drop it down, whatever works best for your neck. And if anything feels a sharp pain or anything feels too strong, remember, you can always back off, walk your foot a little closer, so you're reducing the intensity. If you need more intensity, you are shifting your feet and knee away from each other, just finding a bit more space between front and back leg. As you exhale, watch your body become a little bit more supple, a bit more relaxed. Try to relax, especially the back leg. About 30 more seconds to switch off your muscles as much as possible. Maybe the arms are working to keep you up, but try to relax everything else. very slowly push into your blocks. Find your way back into child's pose if it feels good. Maybe walk your hands forward, lengthen your tailbone back, or come and rest on your belly completely. And when you feel ready, come back up. We're going to move into seated and now explore our full shoelace today with option to bring back to half shoelace or other options. So begin by finding your left knee in front of you, in front of the belly button, and then cross your right knee on top. If you can't cross, you could shift the weight forward and then wiggle your feet and then sit back. Option, if this is doable but a bit uncomfortable, is to sit on a block so your hips are elevated and usually the knees like it more. If this doesn't work for sure, come to your half shoelace. So the bottom leg, the left leg is straight, you still try to wiggle your knees. Now whatever you're trying to achieve, begin to hinge through your hips and see if you can place your hands on the floor and release the weight of your head. So in shoelace, if the full one, make sure the soles of the feet are pointing backwards and your hips try and be as even as possible. Even if they are lifted, that's fine, but slowly, slowly you might feel it is possible to drop them a bit more. So we are here for 3 minutes. And again, if you need more support, you could use your blocks in front of you. You could use your bolster or any cushions if you prefer. So make sure, again, at the level of your hips, something is happening, which is not too sharp. Definitely make sure your knees are not hurting. There is no pain involved in this practice. So if this doesn't feel safe, definitely extend the bottom leg, or you could come into figure of 4 on your back. So you're keeping the same leg crossed on top, and then you're coming laying on your back, catch the back of your left thigh and pull it in. So this is a more gentle, easier to control stretch for your glutes. Whatever variation you are, begin to deepen your breath and feel that your muscles are switching off and you're only surrendering to gravity with nothing to do. Be as passive as you can. And notice where you're holding tension usually when the position becomes a little bit more challenging. Do you tend to clench your jaw? Do you tend to lift your shoulders? So see if you can use this practice to consciously release any chronic stress you might have in your body to become more soft, supple, grounded, relaxed. Take about 3-5 more breaths. If you feel like you can move some of your props out of the way and walk your hands forward more, you can do it. Let your belly melt on your thigh. And when you feel ready, start walking your hands back and in. Allow your legs to release one by one. And take your hands behind you, shift some weight behind you, maybe close your eyes and notice how you're feeling in your legs. Notice any sense of tingling, maybe lightness in your hips. And when you feel ready to, let's try the second side. So now aligning our right knee, if you're taking the full shoelace, right knee in line with the belly button, left knee wants to cross on top. And you might have to kind of wiggle forward to give yourself more space to separate your feet. Keep the crossing and sit back. And again, you could sit on your block if it makes it easier. if this position is really not right for your knees, bottom leg can be long. So with this variation, you go a little deeper in your hamstrings when you fold. Or again, you could come and lay on your back, just keeping the leg you have in front. So ankle on top of your right thigh and then catch the back of your right thigh and pull it in. So this is much more easy to control and more gentle for your knees. And notice that one side might feel completely different. So maybe on this side you need a different variation. That's also absolutely fine. Choose how you want to support yourself with your props, or just allow the upper body to drop. And in that case, do your best to release completely the back of your neck. Notice how easy or how hard it is to relax your legs completely in this position. Notice if your glutes are still gripping, or if it is possible for you to maintain a softness in your toes, in your calves. Your legs want to be as passive as possible. If you're struggling with settling, you could come back to coherent breathing and maybe think about your breath, your 5 seconds in or 5 or 6 seconds out, as a way to train your mind to stay present even when the situation is a bit uncomfortable. So last 30 seconds here. Very slowly begin to roll back and up. Move any props you might have on the side, and again manually release your legs one by one. Maybe place your hands behind you. Give yourself a moment to observe the rebound sensation. So the last position we take today is a deep hip opening, and you will have option as well. So we come into full dragonfly. All we do is try to lengthen our legs sideways, taking as much space as we like. So it can be small opening, a bigger opening. And then we try and fold forward, and the legs can fold with us. So unless we have any issues, we don't have to worry if the feet turn in. But we try to create as much space as we can in the groin, and again, fold as low as possible. Now, it might not feel beneficial to stay completely open. So your alternative is to take a half dragonfly instead. So if you do this, bend your left knee first and take this forward if it feels better. And I will tell you when it's time to swap if you're taking this asymmetrical version. Whatever you're doing, you could use again blocks in front of you just to support your arms. You could have your bolster. So bring your bolster again in front for your elbows. Another lovely option is to create a little ledge, a little slope. So you're having your blocks in front of you, and then your bolster can go diagonally up. And in this way, it might be possible to rest your belly and to maybe turn your head to one side and literally hug your bolster and have the most beautiful support for the upper back. So whatever we decide to do, we're gonna be here for 4 minutes. You can close your eyes and rest. This is your last position. I will tell you when to swap at minute 2, if you're taking the asymmetrical option. So let go of any tension in your legs. can let your feet be floppy and your legs can be also bent if you're taking the full symmetrical option. As your body becomes maybe a little bit more relaxed, as you breathe nice and slowly, you might find that you don't need any more props at a certain point and you're walking forward a bit more easily. Or you will stay up and perhaps drop the chin to the chest and notice if you can feel any difference. Consciously scanning through your body, notice if there is anything which is really holding lots of stress and tension today. Could you let it go a little bit more? Could you send your breath in the area that needs more care today and soften it? It can be in your face, it can be your jaw, your belly, the back of your neck. Just let it go. If you're taking the asymmetrical option, I invite you to swap. So get to the other side, bend the other knee. If you are in the center, make sure you stay here a little longer. Keep on expanding your belly and your chest in all directions when you breathe in. And as you exhale, relax your body even more. Now very slowly we can begin to press the floor away, come back and up. Before we rush and move the legs, just give yourself a moment to come upright with your spine. Notice how you're feeling, and then you can use your hands to gently guide your legs back in and find your way onto your back for your final Shavasana. So you could today simply lengthen your legs and stay as you are. And if you want some internal rotation, you could come to constructive rest, finding your feet apart, knees bent, feet on the floor, and then drop the knees inwards. And this is your counterbalance. Your hands can be on your body or on the ground. And take this time to notice the deep shift you might feel, not only in your physical body, but also in your mental states and emotional states. Release your weight completely to the ground so your body doesn't have to make any effort. I'm going to allow you to stay here as long as you want in your final Shavasana. Stay here 5 minutes, 10 minutes, enjoy your relaxation, and in the meantime, I'm gonna say goodbye. Thank you so much for practicing with me, and I will see you very soon. Hope your body feels great today. Thank you.